Hey everybody, it's Kat Caracelo. I'm just back from a circle of women going on a Mythos Journey experience in real time, in real space in Italy. And what I want to share is how much these circles, these creative circles, these opportunities to gather and travel together in different ways, sometimes connecting virtually and sometimes in real time and real space, but how much this kind of awareness and consciousness and generative quality of women circling together offers a richness and an incredibly value-based experience. When I began doing journey work in this way and leading it and guiding it, I was really looking for a way to gather women into circles because I just didn't have that many connections in my own community. I also had a strong sense of a field experience, something that we could co-create together. And my sense of journey work, my sense of following a map or defining a new path or creating new territory for myself was absolutely at the core of my vision. Vision work is actually a big component of journey work. And so visioning into action and creating what it is that I want to step into is something that is very much woven into process. And so when the creative process comes in as a way to catalyze or to exemplify or to language and experience, it expands the experience. And together, this kind of journey work has been fed and fueled for so many years by so many women. And it's really based in Jungian principles. It's based in cultivating an imaginal space to bring your personal myth, your mythic journey into awareness in a brand new way. I think we need to companion one another in this kind of journey work. And for most of us, we're actually a lot, highly sensitive, highly intuitive, really an amazing, extraordinary group of women who gather, who are called to this work. It is a calling. It definitely is a calling. It's also a very different way to access our material of life and expand the ideas that, sometimes they're drifting like dreams or a sense of something that is accessible, but it almost can't be touched. Within Quest Path, we touch our dreams. We bring our dreams into a higher awareness, and we cultivate and define and design new pathways, new ways in which we're stepping into our own life. It is such an empowering experience. I know that some of the questions that I get sometimes are, it's a year, like, oh my gosh, it's a year-long commitment. And the reason it's a year-long journey is to give you enough time and space to move in and out of it. It's a year of being able to travel with your own rhythms and ways to really honor yourself. And that's something I know about myself is, as a highly creative person, I need to have a variety of rhythms and ways so that I'm not just locked into a certain kind of a paint by numbers or follow the rules. In fact, I'm a bit of a rebel and I don't want to follow the rules. So there's a little bit of that sense of, let me design my life or design the mythic way in which I'm meeting myself in each moment. I want to honor and really talk about so many of us right now are being affected by external energies. The outside world, we have hurricanes. In my area, we have incredible fires happening. So many of us have been impacted by loss and grief and collective energies that really blow us out of our own energy field. And some of us feel a lot of dismay and a lot of grief and a lot of sorrow. You know, it's one really powerful thing to recognize that within a circle of women, when we're doing this kind of work, we're actually bringing all of these pieces in. We're acknowledging and honoring and creating with anything that's happening in our field of experience as part of our personal myth. There's so few ways we can do this kind of work in the world and be honored for it, or even express it, or explain it, or describe it, or have a way to speak to something that is unseen. This is depth work, and it's incredibly powerful. It's also work that needs to be, sometimes brought into the light so that it doesn't get too heavy, so that we have one another to travel with. We have witnesses, we have friendships, we have ways to honor and see our own work through other people's eyes, or ways to see our own journey through other people's work. Sometimes in this case, art making or images or energies or a quote or descriptions of something that we haven't quite been able to touch on. So I really just want to invite you in. I want to ask you if you're feeling called. And I want you to trust that a year-long journey is not a burden. It's a gift. And it is a delight. And it is maybe a little bit of a leap of faith to say yes. But oh my gosh, it's incredibly life-changing. So many women have done this work with me. Thousands of women travel in circles with me through these 12 years. But there's an intimate gathering. It's about 100 women that quest path each year. There is an extraordinary family experience, kind of a real intimacy that we forge together. And it's the rare woman who's called. And so I want to ask you, are you feeling called? And is it the right time for you to really tap in to your own depth work, to your own journey process, to your own mythic life? This work is all about visioning and activating, but it's about the deeper journey. It's about the mythic life. It's about the personal myth, personal evolution, personal growth, redefining who you are and why you're here and what matters most. And I just want to say to you that this circle work that we're doing together is what matters most to me. And it's an extension of love and commitment to you and to me and to all of us, recognizing the potency and the power of our she stories. And when we gather the women into this kind of a tribal experience, it is extraordinary. And I think you know that. I think you already feel it. So join me in Quest Path. We begin in a couple of weeks. And so time is, getting shorter to make a choice to say, this is something that I want to experience. I want to work with the Celtic calendar. I want to follow the seasons of the year. I want to understand more about harnessing the imaginal realm. I want to know more about my life through the creative process. I want to be able to translate my creative energy into my life energy, into my living energy. These are all things that are part of Quest Path. And so come and join me. And I send you love.